Hi, today we're going to talk a little bit about providing your pump with good, clean water. Mixing in air with the water is always bad. That'll tear up seals, tear up valves, tear up the pump, and do some damage. But in the water, there can also be debris. You could have leaves, you could have sand, you could have gravel. Small little tiny particles are generally not too harmful to a pump. So as you can see here, this is a common thing used on the inlet of pressure washers. This will keep debris out that's too big. This is a 30 mesh screen. But there's a lot of other options too to deal with your water. From filters like this, always make sure your gasket's in place. This will give you a lot more media area if you're drawing out of a tank before that were to clog up on you. One other kind of cool filter we offer is this one here. So inside it looks very similar. It's got the mesh, but on the bottom you can rinse out your screen without having to take it out. By removing this, a little water flush through there, and that'll flush out the screen and do that. So we got these in all sizes and shapes. Larger ones with more bigger inlets, 1 inch. Got aluminum ones here that sit in a lot of pressure washers inside the frame. These will have a screen inside as well, very serviceable there. So full array. One of the more common ones we see these days is this plastic covered one, so you can see what's going in, what's stuck. Offers you garden hose connection by various different pipe threads. So that would definitely be an option for you. The biggest thing though is that you want to make sure your pressure washer has some type of protection on the inlet. Now that'll keep out the big debris, and that some wells and other water sources have a lot of sand and really fine particles in there. A better solution for those, or an additional solution for those in addition to the screen, would be sometimes what's called a whole house filter like this. Now it's important with these to use a filter that's rated. So this one will let about 13-14 gallons a minute through. Some that look like this that you get at a hardware store or whatnot are only rated for 3 or 4 gallons a minute, and you'll actually starve your pump. This type of filter is better if you're filtering before a float tank or reservoir versus right on the inlet of the pump. The pump doesn't really want to suck through this type of media, especially on a tank situation like in a trailer or something like that. Now that talks about all the debris that we can see in the water. Scale is another thing that can cause us all sorts of problems. So let's go take a look at what we've got to offer for scale prevention. Now we talked about filtering your water, but scale's inside the water. It doesn't come out in a filter or anything like that. And what scale will do is form and stick to the sides. So we call this scale buildup in a pressure washer. This is made from minerals in the water, your irons, calciums, and so forth. And they'll close the passage off where you start to lose efficiency of the heat transfer, and you also start to prevent the water from going through. Hundreds of feet of pipe with this much buildup in it, that's going to cause you a lot of performance loss. So what do we do about that? First thing we can think about is preventing it. So we've got some options to prevent it. Our most common is a scale troll system. This unit here will treat 50,000 gallons of water. This is a hard deposit in there. It's a polyphosphate blend that will keep the scale sequestered in the water, so when you heat it, it's not going to stick to the side. It'll protect the equipment, not as corrosive as soft water or other ways to deal with that, and it's very small. So 50,000 gallons, spin this off, you'll see the white disappear. You replace it, you're back in business for another 50,000 gallons. We offer those in other sizes as well. Simple plumbing in and out. Another way to prevent it is to take this Aquatret, put it in your float tank. Same kind of polyphosphate type thing, a little bit different blend. And you peel this off, throw it in, and then when it's close to the top, it's time for a new one. This will treat about 15 to 20,000 gallons. Not nearly as reliably as a scale troll because of the way this doses, but this is definitely a way to cut down on your scale or slow it up and have the same effect. There's other technologies on there. Karcher Systems have a dispenser for RM110. This is an enzyme-based scale inhibitor that does something similar. It drips into the float tank as the machine runs. And of course we carry the one for the KW machines as well. So we've got all those on the shelf to help prevent scale. And if you get scale, we've got a way to get rid of it. Scale Away is a powder. It's a special blend. You dissolve this into a few gallons of hot water and let it circulate through the machine for a few minutes. Instructions are on the side. You should always wear proper PPE when doing this, but we've also got our service department available if you want us to come out, install a scale troll for you to scale your system, keep it running as efficiently as possible to get the equipment life you want and avoid downtime.